Hey, Sifgaris here. Today I'm going to be playing Chapter 6X of Vestaria Saga, the Holy Sword of Silvanister. Or reading, I should say. There's a lot of dialogue to go through, so forgive me for most of it being pretty rough. I'll likely skim over some sections, and I won't be editing in my translations into the boxes because that would take ages for all of this. So instead, I've set up my recording so you should be able to see the translations on the right, and as I read. Also, I'll include a link to the Word document of the translations in the video description. Yeah, anyways, I better get to it. A lot of dialogue to get through. And read. Alright, Chapter 6X. Lanna Temple, or Lanna Sanctum. Alright. Mother Near, to see you for the first time. She spoke to Zaid before he could say anything else. It's okay. You don't have to say anything. She spoke with a mesmerizing gaze, and then she approached Zaid and gently hugged him. Near's body, despite being small, felt large and comforting. Zaid just stood there, stunned. Tears suddenly began to overflow from Zaid. Zaid was dreaming of when he was young and crying with his mother. The tears he'd be holding back were enough to wash away the pain, the sorrow, and the suffering. Was it just a few minutes, or was it a few hours? When Zaid woke up from his dream, there was no longer a figure of Lanna Near around him. Instead, he saw a familiar face he had not seen for a while. He was one of those that gave him counsel in the Liberation War. The priest from Redessa, Abbot Melvin.
Prince, are you okay?
What? Abbot Melvin? Where'd Lanna Near go?
Huh? How did you see Mother Near?
You've been here, but when did she leave?
Well, in the morning she has duties in the Circlet Tower, so she can't come right now. Until the prayer time is over, she asked me to take care of you.
But I'm sure that Lanna Near was.
It may be a dream that Lanna Near has showed you. It's something that we ordinary people can't understand.
I see. Does the kindness of Lanna Near radiate from the temple itself?
That's it. That's the power of Mother Near. Well, Prince Zaid, there's a person who wants to meet you before you see the mother. I will show you to them. Now, but your friends will have to stay here.
Ha! Don't worry about us. I'll tour the temple until you're finished. Such opportunities are rare.
You may explore as much as you'd like. If there's anything you don't understand, just ask anyone. They'll be sure to be kind and help you.
I'm worried about leaving everyone we left back on the island. We'll leave early tomorrow, so tell everyone to get ready. I'll just get rid of that Z I accidentally put on there. Alrighty, see ya. Then go see Mother Near, Princey. Caesar, there's something about me and Sujata. There's something me and Sujata want to find out. Huh? You seem to be pretty happy to be in the temple. What's the reason? I've heard that Lanna Temple has many skilled healers. I'd like to see if one of them can help me.
A healer? Of course, there are many excellent healers here. What ails you? We've got healers specializing in different types of healing, so if you tell me what's wrong, I can show you to a suitable healer.
This girl, I want to get Sujata's memory back.
I see. It's a mental illness. All right. Sister, please guide them both to Brother Foil.
Probably not his actual name. Yes, please come this way. Like, Brother Foil doesn't sound like a name. I'm pretty sure that's a bad translation, but whatever. He's not important.
Hey. Then this girl is not your relative. You saved her from a slave merchant. She had already lost her memory at the time, didn't she?
Yes, it was 3 years ago in a town that I happened to be passing by. Some scoundrels were selling more than a dozen children. Seeing that made me so angry that I marched up and demanded, "Release them!" Of course, they didn't back down without a fight.
Did you kill the villains? Well, what did you do about the children?
They were all either returned to their parents or adopted by the residents of the city. This girl was the only one who wouldn't move when she was released. The townspeople people were creeped out by her and just left her alone. That's why.
So you took care of her? You're an honest-looking person. The girl's illness is in her head. It's the fear of being kidnapped by a slave merchant again that torments her. Her instinct is to escape from her fear, and it led her to close off her heart and her memories.
I traveled across the island to find her parents. Now 3 years later, I still have no damn clue. If we don't get her memories back, we're gonna have no fucking clue. Yeah, okay, whatever. Priest, somehow, is there a way for her to regain her memories?
I'm afraid there's no cure for this. Memories are a strange thing. In time, she might recover them, or she might never regain her lost memories. The fate of this daughter must be left to the goddess. I'm sorry I couldn't help you. There's just one thing I can see when I look at this girl. The daughter was loved by her parents. At least until she was abducted by slave traders. It seems that she was brought up with care. It's enough to hear that my efforts to return to their parents have not been for nothing. Priest, thank you for taking care of us. We are... Oh no, he has coronavirus. I thought you had a bad complexion. You seem to be sick. It seems pretty bad, too. Why are you leaving it untreated? If you take too long to do something about it, it'll kill you.
My disease cannot be cured by any man. It's something that I got from being poisoned by Verifel.
Verifel? Oh, that's the poisonous mushroom that grows in the eastern continent. The barbarians of that land use it to coat their weapons in.
Yes, I got stuck by a poison arrow before crossing the Vestaria. If you are affected by this poison, you have no chance of surviving. The whole body rots away from the inside. Priest, this disease is my punishment. I've killed a lot of people so far. Some of them weren't guilty of anything. I'm prepared for death as my inevitable fate, but by then I only hope I find this child's parents.
Brother, let's go now. I'm bored.
Young man, there is one way to get rid of Verifel poison. I'll tell you, so listen closely.
What? Is there a way to get rid of the poison? You can tell me?
Well, have you heard of the Bollard dragon? It's a legendary dragon that lived on Missouri Island since ancient times, but there are very few left now. The blood of this dragon has a very powerful detoxification effect.
I lost my place. Hold on.
You can neutralize any kind of poison by bathing its blood. I believe they be located in the wastelands in the eastern part of Missouri Island. I don't know which area exactly it would be hiding, though. It's a famous ancient drug and cannot simply be hunted down. If I were you, I'd ask Count Loresk. He might know where one can be found. You are an important family member to this girl. You're going to make her sad if you do nothing and die, so please, take care of yourself.
Thank you, priest. I'll keep those words in my heart. What's up, Hilda? You look stressed. Is something making you anxious?
It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
You can't fool me. You're looking for that boy. Wait a second. I'll ask that man there.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait. I'm saying it's fine.
Hey, you're from the temple. My friend here has something she wants to ask you. Could you hear her out? Sure. I'm pretty busy, so make it quick, though. Well, what do you want to ask?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm looking for someone named Siegfried.
Siegfried? By the mother's life. I think he went to the western country. A lot of things are going on with him. I don't know if he'll be back. You sound like you knew him.
Do you know him well?
I've
Of course, but mostly because of his infamous habits of flirting with every woman he sees. Such a carefree man. I don't accept him as a saint. As I thought, he's always been like that. He's certainly a competent warrior priest, but because he was born with the blood of our enemies, I don't know when he'll betray us. To trust that man, I don't understand the mother's decisions. Born with the blood of the enemy? What does that mean? Well, it's just between you and me. Don't say it to anyone else. He's a highborn child from the eastern continent. Like, earlier it said he was going to the western continent, but then it says he's a highborn from the eastern continent. I don't know if I have one of those translations wrong, or... yeah, like... I don't know, maybe he's trying to get away. I don't know. Well, I'll continue. What? Siegfried was one of the heirs to the head of the Margolite clan. He was a child born to a slave woman. His father had a lot of children, and he used magic stone. I think magic stone's referring to one of the shards of the orb? Not sure exactly in this case, though. It's for your own good, I think. Is that last line? Alright. His mother knew about it and took the newborn boy and ran away from the land of the Margolites. The woman miraculously escaped and was put under the protection of the Imperial Army. The Emperor's aide Vanus brought them to Lanna Temple. His mother was very weak and frail, and soon after died, giving her child to Mother Nier. The child was raised in the temple as Lanna Nier's adopted child. I can't understand it at all. To raise our nemesis, the son of the Margolite clan in Lanna Temple. Girl, I'll give you some advice. You don't want to get involved with him. I don't know where or when, but one day he's going to show his true nature. Priest, that's just not true. Oh, hi, Leonka. Huh? Oh, Nefia. It's a surprise to see you here. How many times do I have to tell you that boy doesn't belong here? Sieg is the one who's afraid that if he keeps getting more and more powerful, he'll become the same person as his father. But despite that fear, he is fighting desperately to protect us all. My older brother is not an evil man. I know. Damn it, more shit that I didn't properly translate it. I know the Circlet Maiden is still young, but she's under the influence. Oh yeah, you know what, I can just delete this right here. This is, the other one's correct. Nefia, I understand that you're still young, and that you care deeply for your brother-in-law. Don't let your emotions mislead you. Well, I've said it all I wanted to say. I have work to do. Excuse me. Well, I've said all I want. Oh, wait. That's his line, obviously. I'm sorry. You've been made to listen to bad stories about my brother. Leonka? What? I'm Sieg's sister, Nefia. Wait, are you Hilda? I've heard about you from Aslan. It's no wonder you're surprised. Leonka is my real sister. We're twins. Eh? What? The people of Norden have followed a traditional set of beliefs since ancient times. One of these beliefs is that twins are an abomination before God. In Norden society, if twins are born, they sacrifice one or the other. It's an ancient law that even the ruling family can't refuse to follow. When we were born, the midwife tried to kill me according to tradition, but my father told her he'd do it himself. He entrusted a priestess to secretly take me away. My mother was a former priestess, so they entrusted me to Lanna Nier. They thought that maybe they could leave me there with peace of mind. Nier was pleased to accept me and raised me into a good woman. But this is a felony who breaks the rules. Did my parents manage to keep this a secret? I don't think my sister even knows anything. I've only recently been told by Nier, after my jerk brother-in-law was surprised when he met my sister. I asked Mother Nier to tell me the truth. I know I shouldn't, but I want to see my sister someday. Now I have a duty as a shrine maiden,
If people know my existence, it will cause trouble for my parents. Hilda, thank you for protecting my sister. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Just don't tell my sister about me. Someday when the time comes, we may be able to meet each other, but now excuse me, I'm a little confused, but I understand what you're saying. Leonka has a twin sister who's a priestess. I'm sure she'd be overjoyed to hear that. Oh, but of course, I'll keep it a secret until I have your permission. Nefia, the priestess, Leonka's twin sister, Sieg's sister-in-law.
Eh? This is basically Hilda the whole conversation. Eh? 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 Who?
So about my brother. I'm sure he's misleading and often makes people believe him to be a jerk. But my older brother is a good man who is just trying to keep people at a distance. Everything the priest said is true, but it's a secret that should be kept quiet. Some people already don't like Lanna Temple.
Or some people in Lanna Temple already don't like him. I'm really unclear on which one that's supposed to say.
Does Hilda know what's happening with my brother? I don't know much about Hilda. My brother loves you.
You've been talking for a while. Did they know where Seek was? Hey, have you lost your soul? Say something. Ah, it's the face of a maiden in love. I'll leave you alone then. Alright, Nelki. Nelki, you came to learn at the temple. You're here now, aren't you?
Yes.
Then why are you still here? Go on and start studying.
I'm thinking of postponing my studies.
Postpone? Are you saying you're not going to study at Lanna Temple? I don't understand. Wasn't learning in Lanna Temple your dream? That's why you came this far and worked so hard, isn't it? Why would you stop now?
I can't get my head around the people who took care of me. The Count who remained in the harbor, his daughters, Zaid, and you guys. You're getting ready for a tough battle, aren't you? Even the people of this temple don't live in peace. I want to help you too. Caesar, is me wanting that wrong?
That kind of saying, stupid girl. Nothing changes whether you stay here or come with us. It's irrelevant.
But still, I want to come with you.
I see. Well, that's fine. I'm gonna take care of the prince. Or maybe it's you're gonna help take care of the prince, whatever. You're a stupid girl, but I don't hate that kind of attitude. I guess we'll take care of you. Well, do your best. Just don't get yourself killed. If you die, your old man will be furious with us. Alright, the farther we go in this, the rougher it gets. Because at first I was doing a pretty good job at, like, trying to make them sentences make sense, but, yeah.
Oh my god. Caesar! Caesar!
Oh, Lilia. I'm surprised. You look like a real priestess.
Excuse me, I was a real priestess before? You're as rude as ever, Caesar.
Hey, Lilia, I'm your elder. Don't you forget it.
Well, I'm sorry. I was looking for you because I heard everyone was coming. I'm glad to see you, though. So where is Zaid? I have something to ask him.
The prince is busy. He doesn't have time to deal with you.
Huh. Then I'll tell you instead, Mr. Caesar. When you head back to Melida, I'm coming with you.
Lilia, weren't you training? You got permission to go learn at the temple, right?
Of course, but I heard that disturbing things are happening in Melida, and I want to be of service to Zaid. Also, I'm worried about Garland.
You're worried about Garland? You heard the rumors about him, I take it.
Ophelia came from Redesta. She said it's in a dangerous situation. I can't stand it, so I was looking for Mr. Zaid.
Is it true that the rebellion was started by Garland?
Well, the more priests we have, the better. So I guess Lilia could be useful. I hope so, at least. The prince will be happy to see you as well. We're leaving tomorrow morning. Get ready. Thanks, Caesar. What did I say about speaking of your elders so casually? Yeah, I don't know why he's on about that. Alrighty. Father, scold Ezreal. He should have never accompanied me in the first place.
Why not? That child is now a 14-year-old warrior priest, so fighting is inevitable.
Yes, but my brother is still a child. He can't help me as he is now. I'm so preoccupied taking care of him, I can't complete my mission. If you really want to, send him on a different mission.
That's your problem, isn't it? Ezreal is a soldier of the temple. You must ignore your feelings as his sister.
I know, but...
The world is more dangerous than ever. Margot's darkness is trying to cover the world once again. In order to stop it, many priests and warriors are being deployed. Some of them are young children in the middle of training.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
I'm not trying to burden you. Ezreal has finished his training and is a fine Vestal mage. You can't keep someone sheltered just because they're young. It's even more so if they're your family. I'll fix that later.
Yes, as you said, Father, I was wrong.
I understand that you worry about your brother Aslan, but that boy is not the child you think he is anymore. Even if he's still immature now, I'm sure he'll make a fine mage, but you're gonna have to believe in him.
Yes, Father. Father, look at this!
What is it, Ezreal? You're so noisy. How many times do I have to tell you to be quiet in these sacred halls?
That's not the point. I was given a special pass from Mother Nier. Look at it. It's so shiny. Isn't it awesome?
It's just a standard pass the Mother grants Vestian mages. She must have heard that you were going to be leaving soon. It's nothing special.
But the Mother usually doesn't bother us mages my age. This means she's accepted my ability. That's right. I'll have to show it to Dylan. I'm sure he'll be jealous.
Wait. Just let me tell you my story.
But yeah, and I have it written here. Yeah, Dylan might just be a throwaway character, or that's mistranslated.
Oh, this is a beautiful statue of the goddess.
Caesar, why did you come here?
I stopped by because I heard that there was a temple here.
I didn't expect to find you here, Aslan. The priest you were talking to back there. Are you acquaintances? He's my father, and the head priest who presides over Lanna Temple. Speaking of, the goddess Laurentia, they crushed the Orb of Ruination in the previous Holy War. The warrior died in the war, even though they became a pillar of the god of Celadon. Why is the goddess enshrined here? Laurentia is called Lanna and Vestaria, also known as the Earth Mother. But it was a story after death, and it was originally the mother of Nier and Vanis. That's why you're treasuring Lanna Temple. Huh, I didn't know that. But, Aslan, what's that? Amidst the dark orbs were crushed. It said that the underworld dragons had lost power. And Janeth, Adpost, came back to life. You said Solace's a little prince killed him. Don't you think it's too much to draw a dragon that can be defeated by a kid in myth?
That's not true. The underworld dragon is a terrible war weapon created by the ancient Ungarians. Its power is overwhelming. A human weapon gives you a wound. The flame released from its mouth simply burns down whole cities. It is said there were thousands of nether dragons in the past. Udugar, and it was one of the reasons why Udugar people were destroyed. That's when Adpos came back in the Janeth. The reason is the seal of the... the seal of the Iris Maiden was broken. It's just too much to wake up. Yeah, whatever. The real power of the Nether Dragon will be unleashed when the star and the moon seals are broken as well. If that happens, the island will be burned down by the three dragons. I see. The one that Sultan defeated was the equivalent of a baby Nether Dragon. Yes, if they regain their full power, we humans will not be able to defeat them.
Even if you defeat it with a holy sword, it will rise again soon. Even with one of the maidens gone, they still shouldn't be able to move, but they're starting to fight back. Wait a minute, that's weird. In the Labyrinth of Janeth, I saw a moving nether dragon. Someone saved me at that time, but the dragon was certainly moving around. And the Earth Maiden was rescued and returned to the temple. Didn't you cure her petrification? The Earth Shrine Maiden was rescued, but the petrification has not yet been cured. In addition, the second Shrine Maiden fell asleep, or was also petrified, I assume. Of the 3 seals, only one remains. Admirals, who had been defeated, woke up in a short period of time and began to move because of the power of the Jewels of Darkness grew stronger. The Dark Orbs or something grew stronger. The fact that the seal of the star was broken, probably the Glacia land dragon of Regary is also awake. It must be wandering the underground labyrinths nowadays. It's just a matter of time. If the third circling maiden is captured, the underworld dragons will break the seals of their ruins. They'll appear on the ground, and the Margalites will send them to attack us. Udagar's warriors are all dead. There's no way to counter them. The world has no choice but to follow the path of destruction. Well, wait. What does it mean that you can't cure it? Aren't you a priest? What's more, the second maiden was petrified as well. What the hell is the temple doing? Caesar, it was Queen Seville of Fire who performed the petrification on Nina. The petrification is a special curse method handed down to the Spherian family. Only the descendants of Fire can undo it. But all the Spherian royals were murdered 3 years ago. They all lost their lives except for Princess Seville. There's no way to get Nina back to normal at the present. Except for one possibility. Hey Aslan, what's the possibility? Don't be impatient and tell me. No, don't be patient, more like, but the royal family of Fire has a princess that went missing 13 years ago. Queen Seville's half-sister. If she's alive, she'd be about 13 or 14. We're looking for the princess with all our might. If we can find the child, a priest from Fire can teach her how to release the curse. That's the only way to remove the petrification. But that's the only story that's gonna catch the clouds. Do you have any more information about the princess? I assume that's only gonna catch the clouds. It's kind of like I assume it's an expression that just doesn't really translate well, that it's like that's not gonna really do anything. Yes. That's pretty useless. That's right. Her mother is from the Vestian family. The way she married the King of Fire in a political marriage. But the king already had a queen, and his mother was a side queen. The queen has a lone child, the young queen soon had a child. But soon after that, the queen also had a first son, and the power struggle broke out with the parents. The timid queen couldn't be in the situation. It seems she was mentally ill by the time the princess was born. It seems to have disappeared from the royal family as a young child of about half a year and it's become known as it is, whatever. So far, I've heard from the priest from Spire. I don't know that's all I've heard from the priest from Spire. I don't know anything about the situation after that. I know the child's name is Amelia, and they have purple eyes. I'm sure she inherited Udagar's blood, so we'll know for sure as soon as Nier sees her. So we're looking for a girl with a background like that. Caesar, if you have any idea, please let me know. I see. Amelia. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, Aslan, who's the second petrified shrine maiden? Surely, it's not that girl, is it?
Yeah, so, like, I'm not 100%. I might have translated this wrong, but I'm pretty sure Aethel's been petrified. Pretty sure. Like, for the most part, the translations, I just assume that's the case. As I think so. Yeah. Alright. Priest Melvin, who wants to see me?
We are waiting here. Come on.
Oh, I'll wait here. Go on. That should be it. Zaid, I haven't heard from you. Huh? Orphelia? Why are you at Lanna? I got on Captain Aslan's beast and escaped from Redessa. Mr. Zaid, I am... Are you crying? What's happened? It's okay, tell me exactly what happened. Yes. Some months after Zaid left the royal capital, Garland and I were consulting about the reconstruction plans at the castle of Redessa. At that time, Theodel of Freal came running in. After talking in a state of panic, Garland followed him with a few soldiers and left. I didn't hear the details, but a few days later, the incident in the royal capital was announced. Is it the story that Garland abducted the princess? Yes, hundreds of soldiers from the royal capital came, and Redessa was taken over. I was captured too. No way. The commander was Duke of Frist. I made up my mind when I saw the Duke with a distorted smile. With a whip in one hand. Oh. Oh, where'd they go? Huh? Hold on. I accidentally just teleported the text way back. Where are we? Where were we? Okay, here's Ophelia. Okay. Wait. Hold on, sorry. A month. Yeah, the commander was the Duke of Frist. I made up my mind when I saw the Duke's distorted smile with a whip in one hand. Lord Garland didn't tell me anything. I guess this is what was best. If I had known, I might have been tortured. When I was about to faint, I saw someone coming. It was the paladin Troy, who was the subordinate of Zaid. No way, you're saying Troy was helping Wrangle? Such a thing. Impossible. No, it's not. He rescued me. I'll give you a detailed story later, but Sir Troy rescued me from the castle. Classic Troy. Then Lord Garland returned from Thrall. He drove out Frist and took back Redessa. Troy. Oh, I see. I'm sorry that I've shouted. So Aethel came to Redessa, didn't she? Why did Garland take the princess? It's a little hard to say to you, Prince. Don't be shy. I'll take anything, so I want you to be honest with me. Yes, then as you wish, I'll tell you. Garland said when he came back, the Regent Lord Zacharias is a fake, a conspiracy by the Margolites for an evil plot. It seems likely. Garland's a pretty smart man. It seems that Troy saw the true identity, and almost all of them who were subordinates of Mr. Zaid in the Liberation Army were kept away from the royal capital. Only Troy was recognized as a faithful subordinate to the regent, and remained in the royal palace after Frist was quelled. However superficial it was, Troy seemed to think Zacharias looked strange wielding his sword. The Lord Zacharias after the liberation of the royal capital is someone different from the Lord Zacharias he knew. He couldn't do anything because he didn't have a confirmation. Yeah, don't worry about the princess, let's find out the truth. From such a thought, I pretended to be a faithful subordinate. I'd been monitoring Zacharias, and finally, he saw something. Or he'd been monitoring, not her. What did you say? What did you see? One night, he saw something suspicious.
the regent going down the stairs of an underground warehouse. Troy followed him where he saw the regent go into the warehouse. When he looked through the gap in the door, there was a marble shrine. This is... no way, that statue is...
The ceremony is over. As expected, it is Queen Seville after all.
Ha! This little girl was a little bit of a... This girl was a little bit of a maiden's ability. I don't know, had a little bit of a maiden's power. Look at the neck of the little brat that Valerius brought me. The little fox broke it once. To take such a small trick seriously. He seems to have been a very important man. It was a little bit of a pity, but... Jean, how long are you going to keep wearing the skin of Zacharias? His face doesn't look very good. If you can make it the same, why don't you make your usual human face? You're a woman with a lot of orders as usual. That's fine. I'm tired of looking at it like this all the time.
Hey, Valerius, you had a hard time too? Now, we're tired of making great progress in our plans.
What do you mean? Of the 3 seals that bind the Nether Dragons, we've broken 2 of them, right? Yeah, the old man of Yokosa also did a troublesome thing.
Yes, but now as the Galakian, the dragon of the earth, is woken up, in addition, the time required for regeneration is shortened, even if the immortal force has revived by the fact that 2 seals were broken. Until now, I was bound by the power of the temple, and Adpos, who is not able to get out of the barrier. This is what makes you feel free to move again. But still can't get outside the underground ruins? I don't think it's very useful to us. Well, don't be so impatient. Oh, no, this is Valerius saying. Well, we still can't get out the underground ruins. Don't think it's too useful for us. Don't be so impatient. Everything has an order. The little girl who fled the Sama monastery. Princess Mariana of Lestia. It's only a matter of time until she falls into our hands. Then the orb of ruination will be completely revived. Isn't that so, Queen Seville? But yeah, I'm pretty sure the petrified girl there in the middle is Princess Aethel. It seems that he heard such a conversation. Aethel, was she petrified as well? Zaid. So what happened to Troy? I couldn't help him alone. I mean, he couldn't help her alone. He immediately ran to the place of Theodella Frau. He said, I'm going to take out Aethel, so have a carriage and an escort outside the castle. So Theodel asked Redessa for help. Only found by the vengeance soldiers at the castle gate and became the first battle. And Garland and others retrieved the Frau while attracting the enemy. In the meantime, a few soldiers led by Troy went through the Black Forest and returned to Redessa. And as I said, he saved me. Aethel is safe then? Mr. Garland transferred Aethel to a fishing boat before the fall of Thrall and returned home safely via the Redessa River. But Duke Theodel was there attracting enemies. He stayed until the end, and we've no idea what befell him, whether he was captured or... Garland was also considering launching a rescue party. Redessa's hands were fully protecting the castle. He couldn't afford the risk. Yeah, I wonder if Theodel just died off screen. Kinda doubt that. He was a brave young man. I want you to know that at least. I was going to head back to Redessa because I was worried about Aethel. It's up to you. Ask Captain Azan if you want to come. Alright, I understand. I'm going back to the royal capital. I'll never forgive Jean or Valerius. This time I'm going to take care of it with my own hands. I'll completely obliterate them so they can never be resurrected. At that time I will come with you, from Redessa in the Deadland.
that doesn't seem right. It was painful, even though it was an order of Count Garland, that only the people had escaped. Give me a chance to fight too. I want to go back to Redessa as well. Of course. Don't worry, Ophelia. We'll rescue everyone.
Prince, I'll be coming with you too then.
Halden?
I was told the situation. If Valerius is in the royal capital, that's where I'm heading. This time I'll kill him and rescue Ravina.
Ravina? What's going on? Do you know how to break the spell on her?
Oh, I was taught about the sword that Ravina has in her possession. It seems to rule that you possess the sword of Udigar. The weapon the sword possesses her. It's an Udigar weapon called Argolin.
You mean it's controlling the user?
Yes, if you put a spell on the sword and give it to someone else, you can manipulate them at will. Valerius might have cast a spell on the sword and handed it to my sister. That's why Ravina is manipulated by the will of Valerius. So if you take the sword, you can break the spell? But I heard that her sword can block any attack. The old sword was given by Mother Nier, and it seems to counterattack. This old sword was given to me by Mother Nier, and it seems to be able to counterattack the power of the Udigar's sword. The power of the sword. Wait, I'm just rereading that. For me, fighting my sister is a convenience of that person, so it's no use taking her life. Wait, I just skipped that. I was told I need to be very prepared, and then for me, fighting my sister is a convenience of that person, so it's no use taking her life. I'm gonna take my life. Can you take the sword and you can break the spell? They'll recover in a few days. Mother, you told me they would suffer for a while, but be able to return to herself after some time, and I should take her to the priest once she was captured. Oh, I see. That's good, Halden. Of course, it's gonna be hard, but I feel I can see a ray of light now. The remaining concern is Sister Alicia. There has to be a clue. There has to be a clue somewhere. She seems to be with the Vestian. Oh, there was a clue to where. She seems to be with the Vestian Liberation Army. And I think that's not Vestian, I think it's... Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Do I have it open? I might. I am pretty sure that it's actually the Rebellion Liberation Army. Yeah, that sounds better. Alright. In the westernmost part of the island. From the temple, we headed to rescue a large number of knights Aquila. Alright. I think they want the support. The temple sent a bunch of Knights Aquila to go support. No, that should be what it is. Really? Was Alicia safe? To be honest, I was really relieved too. It's just stuck in my heart. We'll have to get ready to go too. Let me know when you're about to leave. Of course, Halden. Tomorrow morning. Let's go on a journey. To meet you again has been a real pleasure. Have I just been... I'm just like, did I skip dialogue? Yeah, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, I don't know, point is Halden's coming with this, whatever. Ah, you are out here. Where's the healer that's looking after you? You can't take a walk alone. You're not completely healed yet. Don't get angry. I can't just lie around and let my body rot away. It's Gemma. By the way, if you forgot. That's it. I can't even walk without a cane. I'm such a pitiful sight. Be a little more patient. The healer said that you should be healed soon. If
If you don't value the second life you were gifted, you'll be punished by the goddess. Certainly, I still can't believe that when I fell from the sky, the trees would cushion my fall enough to save my life. That is the will of the goddess. But you also have my sister to thank. Apparently, Leonka begged Captain Aslan to have the Knights of Kila search for you. Of course I know. But they were able to rescue you and bring you to Lanna. You look like you were in a terrible storm. I heard that the healers were burning their hands healing you. When I was brought to the temple, I was consumed at first with the humiliation of defeat and my hatred for Eddard. I think it's bad for the priest. But you've changed completely. The true heart of Leonka and Aslan. You told me, right? Yeah, but the biggest reason is because I met you, and you told me of the peril the world is in. You taught me that my small country in the corner of the world is not important in the grand scheme of things. Besides, I've been here for 6 months. You've taken care of me by your side. You've taken care of me by my side. Meeting you, Leonka's sister here, it is truly the will of the heavens. Be honest with me. What does Lanna Temple want with me? What am I supposed to do now? Vesta's only desire is to protect the world from the darkness of Margol. The thing is that we fear the most is the Star Maiden falling into the hands of the enemy. I don't think it's supposed to say the Star Maiden. I think it's already in the hands of the enemy. So I think it would be not Sun Maiden. The Moon Maiden? Yeah, the Moon Maiden, Princess Marianne. Lestia. She commands the Liberation Army in the Temple of Selma and is a princess of not Maleta. Yeah, when I translated this, I didn't fully understand. I should have come back and fixed it. But yes, the Princess of Lestia. But currently, 3 provinces of Maleta have gathered their armies to besiege Selma. It is said that the difference in strength is 30 times more than the defending army. At this rate, it will be only a matter of time until it falls. Currently, only the country of Solus has responded to Lonanir's request for aid. Venetia doesn't currently have the military power to help Norden, and is currently in a civil war over its own throne. Solus is fighting well, but they will not be able to stop its fire in superior numbers, but they're doing their best. Gemma, we left the country as soon as I was born. I don't know anything about Norden. I know that Norden is a country proud of its mighty dragon riders, and that it's a country of justice and valor. Ha! You don't even need to ask. Alright, I'll take responsibility for this Norden civil war. I'll help unite Norden under King Eddard. I swear it on Lonanir's name. Don't worry. Don't worry. Margolites are the true enemies of the Norden Dragon Knights. The Circlet Maidens, I'll help protect them, even if it costs me my life. Thanks, Gemma. Let me thank you on behalf of Mother Nier as well. Oh, at the same time, once we reform the country, maybe we'll revise some of the old customs. Norden will be reborn anew. That silly superstition about twins. Gemma. Okay.
Huh? Senna? The wagon was just carrying her to Slan. Why did we come all the way here? Why are we troubling these good people?
Because I have baggage to take care of. They've taken care of us so far. To just say goodbye and I'm sorry, whatever. These are like the least important characters, so.
That's right. What are we gonna do now? No way with those people. You're not thinking of going to the royal capital with them, are you?
That's it, Grandpa. We came all the way to the Holy City. We should buy a lot of rare things. Let's sell them in Regina. Especially the holy magic salves. If we buy a lot of them and sell them for big profit, I'm sure it'll be well worth the travel.
Who would buy such a thing?
Anybody who's worried about their loved ones getting injured. You can't find it in ordinary stores, so I'm sure plenty of people will be happy to buy it. With the war going on, so many priests are being relocated, so the demand for holy magic is just going up.
I see. We're supplying the demand the war has caused. Oh, that's why you're my granddaughter. Let's run to the store and stock up right now.
Yes, war profiting is for the good of the people, right, Grandpa? Pretty sure it's legal. No, it's not illegal. It's kind of fucked up, though. Hey, come on! This is amazing, too. It looks incredibly strange. Zaid, come on!
Sheila, you're gonna kill me if you keep running around like this. Are you a child?
Because this is the holy city, it's the Lanna temple. We're only staying here for one day. When we get back to Yappa, we'll probably never be able to come here again. So I don't care what you think.
That's right.
Next, I'm gonna go check out the gardens over there. Let's go! Don't be a jerk this time.
I'll try not to. Hey, wait a minute, old lady. If you don't want to lose your life, give me all your money.
Oh, what? Are there bandits in Lanna Temple? I don't have a bow. Where is Zaid? Zaid, come quickly.
No one is here. Don't think anyone will help you.
Yeah!
Caesar, please stop playing around.
I didn't actually take it seriously. Classic Sheila. Yo, what's up, you two? Caesar! You Hey, don't get angry. It was just a prank, bro. Obviously, that's not a literal translation. That's it. You're the one who's got nothing better to do. I'm not ashamed of my age. Oh my, Sheila. Before Zaid came here, were you crying? I'm not crying. It's just stupid. Harassing me.
Caesar, is there a reason why you've come here? If you have anything to do here, just say it.
Yeah, that's right. I have something to ask you, Zaid. I'm sure you're from Sapphire, aren't you?
That's right.
Did you know the princess named Amelia of the Spherian royal family? Aslan is searching for her whereabouts.
Is it Princess Amelia?
Oh, do you know something about her? Zaid!
Princess Amelia, she's the daughter of the queen my father served. My father was a nobleman in Spire. When I was a kid, he used to work for the royal palace. He was in charge of guarding the queen.
What? Zaid's father was a noble? I didn't hear about that.
It's not something I like to talk about.
Why? Hey, Sheila. This is important. Shut up.
Bleh.
Zaid, tell me the rest.
Queen of Spire. Because she's the second queen. From now on, she'll be called the princess. Alright, we're gonna skim through this a bit. 6 months after having a baby girl, the side queen incident broke at the royal palace, and they supposedly went missing. What do you mean? My father was the queen's bodyguard. He loved the queen almost as much as his own wife. He was suspected of kidnapping them. My father pleaded guilty. He confessed that they'd taken the queen and the princess, and he was executed for treason. But the fact is hidden from the public. The queen and the princess were announced to have disappeared. Did your father really kidnap them? It's not. My father saved the queen from the assassins. He suffered the crime alone. Wait, what's that say? No, okay, whatever. Anyways, the princess was in a dangerous situation. Assassins were creeping around. It was only a matter of time until they took her alive. It was a bad situation. Yeah. Some of the other people in the court were plotting assassination, and they were ignored when told the truth. On the contrary, it was just getting more dangerous. My troubled father took the side queen and the princess. He thought he'd get them out of the royal palace. Originally, the homeland of the side princess was from the kingdom of Rebel, but it wasn't a good time as there was war in Rebel. So my father came to me and entrusted those two and my mother to me. He told me to take them and escape. My mother's home country is the kingdom of Maleta. The four of us left the royal palace and headed to the harbor, as my father told me. When your father come with you? My father was going to take the blame of the crime. He told me to protect the three women and ordered me to leave. Alright. That must have been tough. Oh wait, no. Why didn't your father come with you? Oh wait, no. That must have been tough. Did you reach the port safely? No, we went through the forest so they couldn't find us, but we were caught by the assassins. I told the other three to run away. I stood up to the assassins, but after all, I was just a child. I was easily beaten and knocked unconscious. When I came to, I was tied to a tree, and I couldn't see the woman around. I was relieved for a moment, but then I saw a man digging a hole in the distance. Beside him, a woman's body lay motionless. From the color of clothing, I knew it was the queen. I cursed my incompetence and begged for my father's forgiveness. I was brought to the royal palace. I learned that my father had been executed. The reason for his execution was treason. My father's body was displayed at the castle gate. The citizens stood around throwing stones at his corpse. That's terrible. I'm so sorry. So obviously you weren't executed as well. So what fate awaited you, Zaid? Slavery? Yes. Since I was only 12, I avoided the death penalty, and instead was sent to be a slave and trained as a gladiator. After 3 years of training, I fought for the first time at the age of 15. The opponent was a big man, twice the size of me. The battle was surprisingly simple, and I beat him with not much difficulty. I was relieved that it was over. The excited audience began to scream for me to kill him. If I didn't respond to the audience's demands, I'd be killed too. Overcome with that fear, I thrust my sword into the heart of my opponent, who was begging for his life. I'll never forget the horrors of killing a person for the first time. I ran away from the training school that night. The slave swordsman was able to run away. That's surprising. The owners usually offer a lot of money for the return of their slaves. Of course, I was chased by a lot of bounty hunters. I frantically crossed the southern mountain, and I eventually arrived at Yappa village. They saw me collapse with blood all over my body. It was the mother of Sheila from Yappa village who took care of me. They protected me from the bounty hunters. I was indebted to Sheila's parents and grandfather, who was the village chief. At the time, Sheila was a young girl, of about 5 years old. Her parents died in a mountain fire that broke out the following year. I swore on their bodies that I would repay my debt. I'll keep that promise. You promised you'd protect me? I never knew that. Eh? What I meant is, I promised to protect the village. I've been doing this all to protect the village, haven't I? Zaid, are you hiding something? I know right away when you lie. You always look away. Hey, you guys. Tell me you're stupid. Why would I need to lie? Hey, you're averting your eyes again. Don't cheat me. Be honest with me. Hey, that's enough. You're out of questions, aren't you? So what happened to your mother and Princess Amelia? Did they make it to the Kingdom of Maleta? I went through what I told you earlier. There's no that the Queen died, but Princess Amelia, I'm not sure. If she got on a boat from Fire, it was my mother. They'll have arrived at the port of Frist in Maleta. I don't know where my mother's parents' house is. I don't know where my mother's house is. Protecting Amelia was a duty I was entrusted with from my father, but of course I was worried about my mother's safety as well. That's why I want to find it. I don't have any clue though. I didn't know what to do. Zaid, how old is Princess Amelia if she lives? The incident was 13 years ago. She would be around 14 if she's still alive. Was she cute? Huh? I guess she was a cute child. Come on, the princess was only half a year old when Zaid met her. What is there to be jealous about, Sheila? It's not like that. I don't... Caesar's... Idiot. Baka. The Great Rubina. Oh? You are... Do I know you from somewhere? Don't you remember? Well, there was a lot of soldiers. I guess can't be helped. I'm an advisor to Prince Zaid and a humble man named Caesar. I'm looking forward to knowing you from now on. Pfft, I know you're the thief, Caesar. I was just messing with you. I'm sorry, but I'm busy. I have to get back to the front lines. You're so busy, but yet you have time to make fun of me? A very interesting girl you are. See ya! Wait a minute, it's not much to go on. You say the front line, but where are you going? We, the Knights of Kila, are deploying to the border area of Spire to support the Kingdom of Solus. The main force is coming down the road from Spire. The Trilateral Alliance is targeting the royal capital Solus. If the royal capital Haral falls, it will be Redessa next, Venetia won't be safe, and even the Kingdom of Norden will be in danger. There are only 6 Knights of Kila squads. Are there any other troops there? Are there any other squads going there? One unit is currently monitoring Galatia. One unit is protecting the west of Yokosta. 2 squads guard Salma Temple. And 1 is going to help in Redessa. That's why we're the only ones on the Solus front. Your captain is Azan, right? But your squad captain is currently accompanying us. What's the point of your subordinate's place? There's a lot going on. The captain has been scolding Princess A. The captain wants to scold Princess Aesol for not seeing through the fake Zacharias. It's important for the captain to rescue the princess. Taking the captain's help, the subordinate, I don't know. Subordinate? Oh, come to Sigfrid, there was a knight from Solus. A daughter of the Shift tribe? That's right, the captain was asked for Solus's relief, taking into account Maya's feelings. Look, Maya's the character of the street. Maya grew up on the streets. I'm not gonna show you that. She seemed to be worried about her father. When I knew I was gonna save Solus, when she heard that we were gonna go help Solus, she knew she'd want to come help. That child was usually quiet, was crying with a glowing smile. She was so cute, I wanted to hug her. Huh, I see. The shift drive but yeah, as you can tell, this isn't the dialogue, as you can tell, but the dialogue's getting worse and worse. Especially dialogue like this, which I'm like, it's not that important. Alright, okay, back to what I was doing. Yeah, the Shift family has done a lot of bad things so far. The child's father had a very bad brother. Yeah. I grew up comfortably as a daughter of a merchant family, so I don't know how Maya feels. She looks so happy to be in the Knights of Kila, and return home and make her father proud. That's why right now Yari is our acting captain. To be commanding 100 Knights of Kila, she's doing pretty well, but things are getting more and more troublesome. Alright, that's not what I want to know. Then what the hell is it? You let me talk so far, or what do you want?
don't get angry about. Don't get so angry at Aslan. I heard you're familiar with the Circlet Maidens. Did you want to become a Circlet? You wanted to become a Circlet Maiden, didn't you? What's that? That's an increasingly arrogant statement. I'm busy. I'm going. She's a short-tempered woman with a pretty face. I can't help but. No, we're getting through this. Alright. Whoa, Lilia, what are you doing in a place like this? I'm getting my last little bit of studying before I leave. What are you doing in this library, Caesar? Well, I thought if I came here, I could find someone smart to answer my questions. Well, guess I was wrong. Well, can't help it. Guess you'll have to do. Well, what do you want to know? I'll tell you what I can. It's about the orbs and the Circlet Maidens. I've heard that there were 9 shards in all. Who's guarding them? Wait, what? Okay. The 3 of the jewels are held by the Princess Aethel, Nina, and that should read something else. I'm just gonna assume they say me and Marianne as the 3rd one. I don't know what I translated it as there, but whatever. Okay, yeah, I know that those 3. Tell me about the other 6. I'm sorry, it's a secret kept by the priestesses. I can't even tell you, Caesar. Don't worry, I've got permission of the priest Melvin. I'm now a commander in the Meleta Liberation Army. Think of this as the prince's orders. Ugh. Alright, I'll tell you. The 3 pieces of the Orb of Immortality are... The Aqua Gem is held by Mother Nier. The Sola Cruz is held by the Princess of Revel, Alicia. The Vena Cruz is held by Nefia, the daughter of the Duke of Norden. The Orb of Immortality gives immortality to the Demon King. When all of the 3 of the Orb Seals are broken, the Demon King Marvel will awaken. So Mother Nier can never leave the temple. Nefia also lives in the temple, and the Priestess of the Sun seems to have been missing for several years. Although, like, she's missing from the temple. People know where she is now. She's, like, in the Liberation Army. Well, when 3 pieces of the orb... Well, then 3 pieces of the orb enthrallment. The Vermil Gem is held by Lady Vanis, the younger sister of Mother Nier. The Gladocruz is held by Cyrene, the noble lady of Solus. And finally, the Flamacruz is held by Seville, Queen of Fire. Is the Queen of Fire still a Circlet Maiden? Why would they leave such a dangerous woman as a Circlet Maiden? Can't Lanna Nier strip her of the circlet? I don't know the details. Unless she returns to the temple, there are only 3 ways. First, when the Circlet Maiden dies. And the other is when the Circlet Maiden comes of age. If they are 18 years of age, or they consummate with the opposite sex. And the last one is if the person wearing it prays for its removal. If the goddess Vesta hears it, they'll be able to remove it. The Orb of Enthrallment was the tools for the ancient Udgars to rule the barbarians and turn them into horrible demonic soldiers. The Demon King Margal ruled man with the power of this jewel. It turned him into a horrible demon and granted him immortality. When all these 3 orb seals are done, the Margal's Empire's demons will be resurrected. Probably thousands, no, tens of thousands of demons will appear on the earth. It's horrible to even think about. Then why are there still demons? If 3 orbs were sealed, they're not going to come back to life, are they? The Orb of Enthrallment was destroyed by the Holy Warrior. He broke it up into 3 pieces, but there were countless little pieces that scattered throughout the land. So a few powerful demons survived, and even now they search for little shards of it in order to bring back more demons to life. However, in order to perform the ritual of the demon reproduction, they need to sacrifice young girls. That's why the Margolites are going around abducting young women. The demons eat any kind of meat. They seem to be like human meat in particular. They call it mare. Okay, Caesar. Are the circlet maidens being protected? They must be kept in the temple. Sorry, but only 3 of the maidens are in the circlet tower. Nephia the Wind Maiden and Sarene the Sword Maiden. And she's currently petrified, but the Earth Maiden Nina. The others are the Star Maiden Aesol is in Redessa. The Moon Maiden and the Sun Maiden are in the west of the island. I heard they're at Sama Temple. What? If the Circlet Maidens are so important, why are they just walking around their own? Even if you say that, there are circumstances for the Circlet Maidens, and to hold them against their will would just make it worse. I guess. I'm worried about one more thing, though. Did you say one of the Shrine Maidens is Solus's princess? As far as I know, the Kingdom of Solus is not of Udigar's lineage. I've never heard of this story from Stilton. This is publicly hidden, but the King of Solus has a sister that became a Circlet Maiden. She lived in the Temple Country. She fell in love with a priest. The power of the seal disappeared because she became pregnant as a Circlet Maiden. Love is forbidden for a Circlet Maiden. They were expelled from the temple and became a common person in the town of Cordia. Their daughter is Serene, but King Solus was ashamed of this. He erased the record of his sister. The Circlet Maiden is Stilton's cousin? But why is Udigar's blood in the Solus family? Solus is ashamed of not being Udigar's descendant country. That's why the King of Generations have welcomed the queens of families that are descendants of Udigar. Even Sultan's mother is a descendant of the Udigar tribe. Is a descendant of the Udigar tribe from a different continent. Isn't that right? Even so, Serene's mother was the first Shrine Maiden in the Kingdom of Solus. I see. I'm sure Sultan would be shocked if he found out. That's why you can't tell him! Hahaha, I'll keep it a secret. Wait. Oh, isn't that a court that I just caught a glimpse of? Hey, court! See ya, Lilia. We'll be leaving early tomorrow. Don't be late. Yeah, let's do our best. A court! Wait a minute. Caesar, what's wrong? I have something to ask of you. Princess of this... do you know of the Princess of the Sphurian family? Do you know Emily? Of course I know her. She's the daughter of the Side Queen Katrina. I don't know if both the mother and the child are missing. But why are you I don't know what happened to them because both the mother and the child are missing. But why are you asking about Amelia? Actually, Aslan... We're looking for the missing princess. We need her in order to cure Nina's petrification. The spell to undo it can only be done by a direct descendant of the Sphurian royal family. Right, the crisis of the revival of the Nether Dragons is the fault of Queen Seville. My father failed to persuade the queen. Don't look so dark, it's not your father's fault. I'm sure he'll be fine. But... The expression which is grim. You're thinking about your old man, right? You're wondering what you're gonna do, aren't you? Of course there's that. Have you noticed ever since we came to the temple? I met a female priest named Alicia. At that time, I didn't know she was a circlet maiden. Huh, is that right? The princess seemed to care a lot about what happened to her, but he had no idea. I'm sorry, the Zaid. I don't know where the circlet maiden is now. Where did you meet her? I think it was about February last year. When I came back from school, there's a girl sleeping in one of the beds. When I asked my father about it, he said he had rescued her from a suspicious man. My father didn't get into details, but he had a dark expression on his face. He looked like he was worried. The next morning I entered the room with some meal, and she was in good spirits and talked to me with a smile. She's called Alicia. She was a priest from a village in Venetia. She was abducted by an unidentified man, and she thought she was brought to this fire. I understand because fire has a dark organization that abducts girls and works in the underworld. After the meal, she said she wanted to go back to the village, but my father had a stern expression. You should return to where you should be, he told her. I felt like I shouldn't ask her why, so I left the room. After that, my father told me he would take this child to the harbor with him. All I know is that much. You're saying your father rescued Alicia? According to Halden, the man who abducted her was a mage with incredible power. Your father must have been pretty powerful to save her. Well, my father is one of the greatest mages since fire, but I haven't heard the details of the rescue. If he's a mage like that, don't worry about him, I'm sure he's fine. But you can confirm Alicia's whereabouts now. You're not going to do anything wrong. There's nothing to worry about. I wonder if I can stay at Zaid's side as I am. This is my intuition. I think your father's purpose and Zaid's destinies are the same after all. So even if we're apart, we'll end up together. It's okay. You'll be able to see your father soon. I guarantee it. Listening to your words make me feel a little better. Thanks, Caesar. No, you don't need to thank me for that. Oh, I'm sorry. We're talking about Princess Amelia, aren't we? Well, you probably know that, but Amelia is the eldest daughter of the queen of the previous king. She's the current queen's half-sister. She disappeared when I was 3 years old, so I don't know anything myself. This is a story I heard from my father. My father was in charge of the education of the royal palace at the time. Prince Massus, the real brother of Amelia, at the time, he was about 5 years old. Prince Simon, the eldest son of Princess Azord, or Queen Azord, was 3 years old, and the eldest daughter of Isolde Seville was 4 years old. My father was in charge of the three of them. The royal palace, at the time, was separated into the queens and the side queens. The three of them were good friends because of my father's influence. Prince Massus was also targeted several times, but my father stood by his side and protected him from many assassination attempts. So, was the queen and his daughter targeted first? Caesar, you seem to understand the situation. Yeah, my father said that too. He was aware that the two of them were the work of the other queens. Yeah, whatever. We couldn't help it because the knights... we couldn't help it though because the knight that was tasked with escorting them, which is Zaid's dad, confessed to the crime. On top of it, there is just a lack of evidence. That's all I heard from my father. I don't know anything about Amelia after that. I'm sorry I can't help you. Good, it was very helpful. The disappearance case was 13 years ago. The Spherian princess is still young. I was surprised she was younger than I thought. Because the qualification of the Circle Maiden is up to 18 years old, Lady Sevilla entered the temple at the age of 10. When she was 13, she was temporarily returned home because of her father's illness. So the royals died in the slaughter, and she wondered if she'd be crowned the throne. That's right, conspiracies were swirling around the Spherian court at the time. Who is the parent, Restea, who wants Prince Massus to be the next king? To make it good that the kid was bred
To make things worse, the king was bedridden with disease, and planned to eliminate the Princess Seville, Queen Isolde, and her child Simon. They made up a love affair between the queen and a popular actor. Got 3 of them. I think they captured the 3 of them. The queen's secretness is a felony even in the country. The prime minister, who had been acquired by Vestaria, threw the 3 of them into a filthy dungeon and left them there for half a year, aiming for a natural death. Princess Seville and Prince Simon, they were only 13 and 12-year-olds. Yeah, it's kind of hard to understand, but what's here, but yeah, it sounds like they accused one of the queens of a crime they didn't do, well, adultery, and used that as an excuse to throw them in jail, including their children. Alright. Both of them had a good personality and a reputation for being close to each other. They got on good terms with their half-brother, Prince Massus. So, their mother, Isolde, I don't know. His Highness Massus, who lost his mother and sister, was cherished and protected for 10 years. Really confused on that one, but whatever. The struggle for power came from the goodness of both Queen's parents. It doesn't matter what the Queen or the Prince is, they were the right people. It was Prime Minister Guise's idea was to starve them to death in prison. Even if it's a felony, execution is impossible without permission of the king. It's a story. Your father was in the royal palace too, wasn't he? Why couldn't he protect the 3 of them? My father was not in the royal palace at the time, and he was a teacher of Prince of Velvet then. He had left the royal palace. He was teaching at the Mage Academy when the incident happened. The story was told after, well, obviously not my father's murder. After the king was murdered, I guess. It's something he found out after he investigated. 6 months later, the grievously ill king passed away. As the Prime Minister schemed, Prince Massus ascended to the throne, but it was Massus who became the new king. He summoned my father back from the school and appointed him as his assistant. Lord Massus hated the Prime Minister. I was told that he wanted to make my father the Prime Minister, but my father declined and said he'd wait until the time came. After that, Lord Massus listened to my father's words and decided to re-examine the secret case. During the previous reign, Guise and others were prevented and couldn't get close to the dungeon. He had a distrust of the incident. Queen Isolde, I know she was a good lady. Seville and her brothers and sisters, they've been friendly since she was a little girl, and it was important to their brother, Massus. And Guise, who was more than one of the priests treating the... And Guise had more than one of the priests treating the previous king's illnesses under his command. I was also angry at the fact... He was also angry at the fact that he was turning down national politics. However, shortly after the order, Guise disappeared. The thoughtful subordinate confessed of what Guise was doing. In testimony from the queens, they found out they were locked in a dungeon and knew it was all Guise's conspiracy. King Massus was stunned to know the fact. He ran to the dungeon with my father and tried to rescue the 3 of them, but was it too late? Yes. There's the queen and her child. Yes. In the prison of the queen and the child that they were guided to by the guards, they looked inside the stone prison and there were 2 rotting corpses. The clothing that they had on identified those bodies as Queen Isolde and Prince Simon. There was no figure of Lady Seville in the prison. Instead, there was the mangled figure of Prime Minister Guise. He was naked and tied up by someone. He seemed to have died in a miserable way. The murder of the royal palace occurred 2 months later. During the night, King Massus and most of his vassals were murdered in a horrible manner. My father returned back to the province he was in the royal palace at the time, but the kingdom was in commotion. Man, he's just conveniently gone whenever people get murdered. Coincidence? I think not. My father happened to be back yeah, okay. My father gathered the surviving members of the court at the royal palace to discuss how to deal with it. The royal family was annihilated, and Princess Seville was missing. My father panicked, trying to find out where the princess was, and a few days later, Seville appeared suddenly in the royal palace. She announced her succession of the throne in front of the court. She was no longer the timid girl people remembered, instead an intimidating young woman. My father seemed to have doubts. This happened 2.5 years ago. This is a summary of the royal palace murder case. Prince Seville became the Queen of Sapphire at the age of 15. My father who defied the Queen's policy was expelled from the royal palace. At the time, I was just a student. I didn't know anything about the royal palace. My father told me how it happened. It's only after the Queen ascended the throne the country went crazy. I'm kind of tired of talking. Yeah, me too, Court. That's all there is to, isn't it? Oh, thank you. I'm going to use your story as a must-have for the book I'm going to write. Eh? You're going to write a book? No way. You're going to be a book writer? Man, it feels like I've written a book. Excuse me, Abbot Melvin, the mother will see you now. Yes, I know. She's finished her morning prayer. Tell her I'll be right there soon. Understood. Then, Prince, shall we go? Yes. This is the office of Mother Near. I'll excuse myself here, so please, go inside. I'll take care of it. Excuse me, my name is Zaid of the Kingdom of Maletta. Prince Zaid, thank you very much for coming. Please step forward. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. How is Lanna Temple? I haven't looked around much yet. I'm gonna stay tonight. I'd like to look around later. If possible, I'd like to see my niece Nina. Is that right? So you're leaving tomorrow morning, aren't you? Maletta seems to be in a disturbing situation right now. I must return to my country as soon as possible to stop the Margolites' plot. I've come to see you this time. I wanted to ask the mother about what has happened. Does the mother know anything about my brother's whereabouts? Prince, first of all, I'm going to tell you this. It might be hard for you to accept it, but you must accept the facts. Your brother, General Zacharias, he has already passed away. I heard it directly from my sister Vanis. Isn't that right, Vanis? That's correct, sister. Prince Zaid, it's been a long time since we met in Thrall. Lady Vanis, I think it'll be a hard story for you to hear, but as the duty of those who saw the end of the General, as my sister said, I'll have to tell you how it happened. I'm ready. Don't worry about it. About a year ago, the battle over the royal capital was prolonged, and the people of the city were starved. It was General Zacharias, the commander of the defense force, being assailed by Captain Ajax of the Imperial Army. He tried to establish a ceasefire between the two. The terms of the ceasefire were that General Zacharias surrendered the royal capital. In exchange, Ajax would grant protection and relief for the citizens. The treaty was mediated by myself, through his Emperor's aid. The two sides agreed to it and swore on Mother Near. General Zek's troops then left the capital. They chose to go through the Black Forest and return to Redessa.
Why would they take such a reckless route? Normally, he would go back through the wet region, where the roads are maintained, but the soldiers were starving. I think General Zacharias was afraid of losing his men. That's why they dared to go back home through the Black Forest, an uninhabited land. Redessa's soldiers disappeared into the darkness of the Black Forest with a tired look. I was worried about them. After finishing the chores in the royal capital, I decided to go after them. It was pitch black in the forest. All you can hear is the growl of the beasts and the laughter of the crows. When I advanced for about half a day, with only torches as clues, suddenly a red light came into view ahead of me. The forest burned, and the sky was red all over. When I ran up, there was another sea of fire. I saw many soldiers burning in those blazing flames. I saw a figure struggling. I immediately cast a spell to put out the flames by releasing a massive downpour. About half a minute, or half an hour, I'm not sure which one it is, honestly. Later, the fire had settled down. But so many people had already been burnt to death. The bodies of charred soldiers were scattered all over the place. I wandered alone in the drift of the feelings of pain. I searched for any survivors. And I found General Zacharias along the path leading to Redessa. For some reason, he was wearing a common soldier's armor. He lay motionless against a charred tree covered in wounds. Perhaps he stayed behind so his men could escape. It's very like him. It was an honorable end. The general's body was already severely burned, and it was in such a state that it was difficult to even tell it was him. Then why are you so sure the body was my brother? Excuse me, but is there any possibility you're mistaken? L's. Okay, it says L's here when I translated it. I tried to translate a bunch of ways. I just got L's like every time. ELS, and I'm like, is that one of the goddesses or something? I'm not sure. Maybe it's just yeah, I don't know. I was kind of lost, but I'm just gonna go with L's as a goddess of some sort. Or maybe she's saying the spirits. Alright, L's told me the charred corpse was definitely him. The thought left by the dead is that the soul, you say. The Udagars can hear L's voice. There's no chance that Vanis would misunderstand it. Actually, the more I think about it, I think it's like the spirits or the souls of the dead or something. L's told me there was something important at his feet, and that I should take it. I dug it up, and there was a nostalgic ring buried there. The Vermal ring, which used to be mine. When was it? Long ago I met a wounded boy in the Imperial City Forest. The boy loved it and wanted to protect it, so I gave him Udagal's ring as a charm. I found out for the first time, at that time, that General Zacharias was the boy from then. If I hadn't forgotten, it wouldn't have happened if I had noticed it a little earlier. Vanis, just get to the point, there's not much time. Alright, one thing that's got me fucked up about this, it's like, I don't really understand why she would give, like, the Vermal ring to Zacharias if the Vermal ring is the Vermal stone, the Vermal gem or whatever. It's kind of important to just be like, yeah, sure, give the incredibly important item that's helped sealing the demons. It's just this random little boy. Unless if the Vermal ring does not actually have the Vermal jewel in it, and it's just, I don't know, also called the Vermal whatever because she has it and she just likes Vermal or something. I don't know, alright, back this. Of course. So, I thought it was pitiful to leave the general alone, so I carried his body to Geneth. The underground ruins of Geneth are the tomb of Silvanister, the founding father of Maleta. I thought it would be a suitable place for the general's grave. Knowing that, I buried him with my own hands, because I thought it was the only way to protect his body while the kingdom was occupied by the Empire. General Zacharias' grave is still in Geneth. Please, Prince, take him back to where he belongs with your hands. Thank you. My brother would have been very happy to hear that you took care of him, Lady Vanis. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. After listening to what you're talking about, all the points come to an end. About a month ago, or all the points make sense. About a month ago, I was in the underground labyrinths of Janeth, and I had a strange experience. On a gravestone I found in the deepest part of the underground labyrinth, I found my older brother's sword, Silvanister, thrust in, and it was accompanied by a beautiful bouquet. Those flowers were left by Lady Vanis, weren't they? The person who saved us from the Nether Dragon. It was you, Lady Vanis, wasn't it? Yeah. But there's one thing I don't understand. My brother's imposter appeared in the royal capital over 6 months ago. Why have you kept silent? When I met you in Frel, why didn't you tell me about it then? It was an official meeting at the time, and I felt like it was terrible timing to tell you Zechariah's death. After the meeting, we visited the Temple Country and received news of the revival of Adpost from my sister. I was also told about the petrification of the Earth Maiden. At that time, the Moon Maiden was missing, and there was the danger that Adpost would awaken and rise from the tomb if she was caught. That's why I've been monitoring Adpost at the underground ruins of Janeth ever since. The reason why I came out to the reason why I left was just a week ago when I was called by my sister. At the time, I was surprised to hear that Zechariah was in the royal capital the first time, and told me about his death. And I told her about his death. I asked Aslan to call my sister, and after she returned from the investigation of the incident, about what happened in the royal palace. If he was a fake, I thought that my sister, who was in Meletta at the time, might know something. After listening to Vanis' story, I determined that Zechariah is clearly a fake, and there's a conspiracy to take over Meletta. That's why I invited you, young prince. This is my guess, but it's likely one of the Margalite clan mages who's turned into General Zechariah. He's called Gene Waltz, I believe. He has the ability to take a peek into other people's minds and become the person he envisions. It is also easy to show images that are different from reality to other people's eyes. He disguised himself as a Lanna priest and joined the temple. It was Jean that abducted Nina. I'm ashamed that I couldn't even see through him. So it may be natural that the people around him didn't notice. I can't help saying it now, but I felt uncomfortable from the beginning around Zechariah. But it's a good thing to say, no, I'm afraid to even think so. I can't forgive myself for doubting my brother. So sad, lonely. I know, it's alright, Prince Aid. Let's think about the future rather than that. I have 2 things to ask for you. I want you to stop the 3 western countries that led their armies into Meletta by defeating Jean and regain the kingdom of Meletta. And I'm sure I don't need to mention the other one. I want you to protect Princess Aesol. Aslan will accompany you on this holy war. She can tell you how to cure the petrification curse. No matter what, you have to undo the petrification of the earth and the Star Maiden. It's a difficult task, but the army of the Temple Country is busy with relief in the west. The crusade of the Holy Army has no choice but to rely on you. Yes, the Kingdom of Meletta will do our best to fulfill this mission. Mother, I'd like to ask you one last thing. What is the clan trying to do by reviving the underworld dragon, Nether Dragon? They're using the Nether Dragon to destroy Lanna Temple and resurrect the demon king Margal. One of the immortal orbs, one of the immortal orbs needed for the revival of Margal is on my forehead. As long as there is a temple country, it's not possible for them to get their hands on it. So they're looking to revive the Margal Empire? Duh. Yes, it seems that would be their ultimate goal. The power of our sisters is waning. Now I don't even have the power to break this fire's magic. The least of our request is only that you save a soul young hero. I don't know. Prince Zaid, please help. I want you to help save mankind from the darkness of Marvel. I understand. We'll do our best to meet your expectations, so I'll take my leave now. Prince Aid! What's wrong? Good, he's just fainted. He must have been exhausted from overworking himself, and he was just told his brother has died. Someone take the prince to the bedroom. Give him a meal to recover from his fatigue when he wakes up. He's an important person. Make sure he's in good health. Yes, priestess. Yes, please leave it to me, Mother Near. May the gods be merciful. Oh wait, actually, this I don't think I ever translated. Sister, I wonder if that was really the right thing to do. To tell Kimiko the truth. Tell the prince the truth. May the goddess be merciful. What are you talking about? All the mistakes you made. You're the one to blame for this. You invoked the anger of our grandmother. You've contradicted Udagard. I've had the ability to. You're gonna push me too? Sorry, but I'm sorry, Sister Near. Alright. A court. A court, there you are. I was looking for you. Captain Aslan. A court. I have good news for you. You said you wanted to know about your father. You said you want to know what your father has been through, didn't you? I found someone who could tell you. Really? Is my father safe? This is Captain Flandra of the Vice Adler Corps. She just returned from the Western battlefield. Is my best friend. I'm not sure what Vice Adler Corps is. Maybe that's just Knights of Kila. But I don't know. When I told her about you, she told me she'd met Count Roland. I brought her here because you really wanted to talk to them. Nice to meet you, Count Roland's daughter. If you're worried about the Count, he's safe. Ah, thank you. If you don't mind, can you tell me about my father when you met him? Yeah, of course. I'll tell you from the beginning. The first time I saw him was about 9 months ago. It was around June last year. At that time, Prince Marion of Lestia was attempting to retake her country from the evil Prime Minister. Bandits along the volunteer soldiers of the citizen. Bandits as well as the volunteer soldiers of the citizens had been hiding out in the mountains of Lestia. To persuade Marion... Sorry. Alright. To persuade Marion, the Circlet Maiden, to return to the temple, I visited the Liberation Army's base, and there was Count Roland. And beside the Count, the Sun Maiden Alicia. I attempted to persuade the two Circlet Maidens to return to the temple, but Marion refused to leave until she regained her country from the wicked. And Alicia had the same aspirations. She wanted to be the helper. She wanted to be of help to Marion, so she stubbornly wouldn't listen to me. Count Roland also gave me some wise words, and he convinced me why those two had to stay, and I ended up giving up. What is the relationship between Mr. Roland and Circlet Maiden? It was as if they were father and daughter, the way they warmly smiled at each other. Right, is that so? Flandra, this story is unnecessary to the young lady. Oh, sure, I'm sorry. No, that's enough to know my father as well. I'm sorry for making such a grim face. The next time we met was in Sama Monastery, where the Liberation Armies of Marion and the Liberation Alliance were in the castle. All three of them are safe. Count Roland is a military leader of the Liberation Army. At the request of the teacher, the Venetian convoy is carrying the goods of volunteer soldiers in Sama, and the Imperial Army is secretly supporting them. Of course, many of us warriors from the temple are rushing to aid them. Oh yeah, 2 great brave men participate in the Liberation Army. One is a holy knight with green hair and Princess Marion's cousin. It was very popular among male soldiers who combined beauty and bravery, and it was as if it was the return of the hero Larentia. The other hero is an adventurer named File. That is almost definitely wrong, but like I really couldn't figure it out, so he's an adventurer named File, whatever, fuck it. From the continent, and a messenger of the Holy Sword of Orcs. But he's really the Prince of Revel and Alicia's brother. Among the soldiers, there is a rumor of a love affair with Marion. It seems to have become bright all at once in the military. Whatever. So don't worry about too much about your father. If you don't mind, I'll tell him that his daughter is safe. Thank you. I was really worried about my father. I was thinking of going back to Aspire, but now I can help Zaid without worry. Flandra, if you see him again, please give this to him. Wait. Okay, yeah. Alright, Flandra, this is a letter to my father I've been writing. If you see him again, please give it to him. It says that, I'm proud of you, Father. Please protect the Shrine Maiden, or please protect the Circlet Maidens, and don't worry about me. Got it. I'll also tell him that his daughter as well. Yeah, got it. Are you waiting for Zeta Court? Yeah, I'm worried because it's so late. Certainly. How many hours has it been since he entered the mother's room? I'd like to hear what he's been talking about all this time. Yeah, I'm sure there's something. You wait here. I'm gonna go look for the prince. Hilda, what are you doing in a place like this? Zaid, the meeting's over, isn't it? I was worried because it was getting late. Yes, I'm sorry to make you worry. No, I was relieved to see you looking healthy. You look like something's troubling you. Zaid, That's not like Hilda. We fought together, haven't we? If anything's happened, be honest with me. Yes, actually, the thing is, I want to go look for Siegfried. So if you'll forgive me. Oh, I see. It's fine. I'm willing to agree with that. I'm sorry. Why are you apologizing? Hilda, your feelings are nothing to be ashamed of. Helping Siegfried with Norn's unification indirectly also helps us. Hilda, you're thinking too much about it. If this is what you want, then do it. But even though you're in such a difficult situation, I'm the only one. I'm sorry to you and all our comrades. That's why it's okay. Don't worry. I'll tell everyone about your situation. May we meet again. Now let us say our goodbyes with a smile and pray for each other's safety. I'm praying to the goddess Lanna so that I can see you and Siegfried again soon. Come on, Hilda. Smile and shake my hand. Yes, I'm thankful for your kind words, Zaid. I wish you the best of luck and safe travels. I hope those two end up being happy. I assume she's referring to him and Aethel. And that's it right there. Hilda has left the party. Her stuff has been sent to convoy. Oh, Zaid. I was worried about your safety. I'm worried, everyone. I'm sorry, I'm fine. Especially at court, she was very worried about you. Come with me. Alright, Princey. I'm gonna go get something to eat, so I'll talk to you later. Of course. Thank you, Caesar. Zaid. At court. I'm fine. Sorry to worry you. I really think it's bad for you. We left the country to meet Count Roland, and in the end, we're just going back to Meletta. I'm sure you're sad about all this. I'm really sorry. It's okay. I was able to confirm my father's safety, so you don't need to worry about it. I'll be by your side until the end. Until we can confirm the safety of Princess Aesol, I'll accompany you anywhere. I'm sorry. Zaid, look up. Look, the world is so beautiful. My father is fighting to help the Circlet Maidens protect this beautiful world. I'm proud of my father, and I want my father to be proud of me as well. What I can do now is help you, Zaid, save the Star Maiden. I don't know what's ahead, but that's enough for me for now. Watching the night sky reminds me of the night of the royal capital, the night before last battle. Uh-oh, that's Zaid saying that. I don't have that written down. Alright, yes. Watching the night sky reminds me of the night of the royal capital before the night's last battle. Aesol jokingly said to me, I'm not sure, but I'd be lonely if Zaid was gone. I might just turn to stone. It's my fault Aesol was petrified. I didn't stay close to her, and I couldn't protect her. Aesol is now sad and asleep. It's all my fault! Aesol is happy, even if she's asleep. I'm sure she's dreaming of you, Zaid. I think she'll be sad and crying if there's no Zaid around when she wakes up, so don't think like that. I know. I'll definitely get back Aesol, no matter how difficult it is. Until I see Aesol smile again, I'll never give up. Zaid. Yay! Alrighty. Well, there we go, it's finally over. After spending a week translating this, I'm pretty antsy to finally start Chapter 7, so that should be out fairly soon after this. If you'd like me to include the translations on the side for all my videos, let me know, and I can probably do that. I don't know if that's something people would want. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe, and yeah, see ya.